Hello everyone. This is Mortal Shell. New Souls-like game, and I gotta say, it's pretty sick. You can get the beta right now on the Epic Game Store for free. If you want to try it out, you can. You'll also get access to their beta Discord, where you can give them feedback, chat with other people about your thoughts on the game, etc. Now, I did upload my first playthrough ever of this game yesterday, but I want to do a more in-depth thoughts on the game now that I've played through the beta a bunch. I have sort of compiled my opinions. We're going to talk about them. The number one thing that I think most people are probably going to want to know about this game, well, there's two things. First, it is difficult. Yes, this game is not easy. Being in the Souls-like genre, I suppose that is expected. But no, it is not a super easy game. There is a certain mechanic that makes the game easier than maybe it would be without it, or it would be without it. It would be much harder without the mechanic, but I will get into that shortly. Besides the difficulty, the combat is very good. I've seen some people in the beta say that the combat feels sluggish, disjointed, not responsive. I have to disagree with those. I think the combat feels very good. The sound design in this game is honestly really solid. Animations feel weighty, they feel heavy, they feel impactful. When you hit something, it feels like you actually hit it. It definitely feels weightier and heavier than, I would say, all the Souls games. Except for maybe... No, it definitely feels heavier than all the Souls games. Definitely heavier than Bloodborne, I would assume. I unfortunately was not able to play Bloodborne. Not have a PS4. But it does feel weightier than Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 through 3, and Sekiro. Hey, buddy. No, come over here. There's a trap. There's definitely not a trap here. Now, if you notice that I just picked up this item, this vault cap, there's a familiarity bar with it. Now, as you use items in this game, you'll become more familiar with them. Oh, so good. Oh, sound effect is so good. But if you use an item enough, you will become more familiar with it. And once you max out that bar, you'll get an extra effect. So if we open the inventory, we'll take Tar Spore, for example. Normally, it just deals 40 poison damage to you. Unless you're playing the other shell, which I'll get into the shells in a bit too, this will just do damage to you. But after you use it enough times, it will then give you immunity to poison. So it's a pretty cool system. Kind of incentivizes you to actually use items instead of just kind of hoarding them, which I think many people tend to just hoard consumable items in RPGs because they're like, I don't know when I'm going to get more, and I don't know how good they are. Ooh. Love how these guys will like stumble back when you kill one. They get all scared. Nice touch. Now this character I have is pretty much fully upgraded. His weapon is fully upgraded, at least damage-wise, and I have most of his abilities, or all of his abilities unlocked that are in the beta. You will not be doing quite as much damage as I am when you first start playing. Quick tip. I think the best combo for this weapon, which I believe is the only one in the beta, is light attack, strong attack. Good stagger value, good damage, really strong. Now, you have already sort of seen the linchpin, I guess, or the real thing that separates this from other Souls games. I kind of used it on reaction, actually, but it is the hardening mechanic. So if you press L2, I don't know what the I'm assuming it's left. That might be left bumper on Xbox. I don't know what the controls are, but press L2, boom, you'll become hardened. Now in this state, you can change what item you have selected, but you cannot use items. You cannot attack, you cannot dodge, you cannot run, you cannot move, nothing. You cannot parry. But as long as you, seemingly, as long as you hold down the button, you will stay in this state, or until you get hit. Now if you get hit, the enemy will stumble back, giving you a chance to attack them. And it also will prevent you from taking damage from that hit. Very, very useful. The cooldown on it, not super long, although I am playing the character that has an ability to reduce that cooldown. I just can't really remember how long it is normally, but it is still fairly short. It's already fairly interesting, but what's really cool is you can do stuff like this. So you can harden id attack animation. So not only can you get really cool pictures like this, or cool poses, but also when you let go, you finish the attack. So it's really cool to, you know, start an animation, start an attack animation, get hit, finish the attack, and then continue going. And you'll notice that if you start an attack, harden, let go, and then continue pressing, say, the light attack button, you will continue the combo. It's not interrupt your combo, which is super nice. So that's a really cool mechanic. I do think it is a bit overpowered in its current state. The fact that you can hold down the harden for seemingly forever, a little strong, you know, just a tad strong. Also, if you look at my stamina bar here, I will start to recover stamina while I'm hardened. I think those two things need to be adjusted, but other than that, this mechanic is sick. The first time I used it, I was just like immediately in love. It's really fun. Now, above my health bar, you'll notice these sort of, I guess, brown or tan bars. That is called resolve. You use resolve to either parry, or there is a special strong attack that you can do with your weapon that has a longer animation, but does a good chunk of damage. So I'll show you the parry here. So you get this sort of Sekiro-like animation. Where you get the red dot on them, and if you attack again, you will then do a bunch of damage. It doesn't one-shot, just a ton of damage, though. See, he gets knocked back with the harden. But it'll do a bunch of damage, and it will heal you. Which is pretty nice. Now, in order to get more resolve, you can either drink moonshine, which will cost you some health, or boom, you get stunned. Oh, almost just jumped off. And it will auto unharden you when you get hit, by the way. But the way you get resolve is either drinking moonshine or by continually attacking an enemy. There's also an item where you ring a little tiny bell. Wonder what reference that is. And you will then gain more resolve per hit that you get. So similar to how in Bloodborne, if you get hit, you have a certain amount of health you can get back if you continue attacking. This system kind of incentivizes you to attack more often. So you see, I lose a little bit of health, but drink some good old moonshine, and I get another bar. Now, parrying costs 1 bar, and the strong attack, which I'm about to show you, or I shouldn't say strong attack, the special move that I'm about to show you, costs 2. You can also not harden during that, but it does seem that you are immune to damage. Oh, jeez. Now, when the thing on the back flashes like that, means there is an unparryable attack coming. So again, definitely inspired from Sekiro. Now, healing items in this game do not replenish when you say rest at the bonfire. There actually aren't any bonfires. It seems like if you die, at least right now in the beta, you just go back to the beginning of the level. And these mushrooms are sort of your primary way of healing. And they do respawn. So if you find a mushroom spot like over here. Oh, I guess that one isn't a respawning one. Well, just take my word for it. There are respawning mushroom points. Oh, is this one right here? I think it is. Yeah, so you can see that circle. Once that circle goes all the way back down the fold, the mushroom will respawn there. So there is that. NPC over here where you can buy some items. If you attack him, he will slap his belly and hit you with a bunch of dust. And do like half your health, so don't attack him. You can, however, pet the cat. Good kitty. Now, before we fight these two enemies up here, the biggest problem I have with this game, actually the dodge. So if you dodge, well, if you press the circle button to dodge, we'll do this back hop. Now, of course, if you do it forward, you do a forward hop, to the side, whatever. But if you press the button again, then you get a barrel roll. The problem is twofold. First off, it feels like there's an input delay between you pressing the button and you actually having iframes. I don't think it's an input delay. I think the animation starts the second you press the button. The problem is the iframes don't actually start till about a third of a second in, it feels like, at least. So you kind of have to preemptively dodge. While that isn't necessarily a bad thing, it does, in my opinion, make it feel sluggish and unresponsive. It could just be that I'm used to other games like, say, Monster Hunter, where all the iframes are kind of front-loaded in the animation. But it does feel weird. Now, the other part is that your actual barrel roll to get distance is locked behind you doing this dodge, and there is a period in between you doing the two dodges where you can get hits. It isn't usually a problem, but on, say, the boss in this game, it can be an issue. I think they could just make it so that it's kind of like Bloodborne, where if you lock onto a target, you just get the hop. Or maybe if you just double tap, you just immediately go into the barrel roll. Or they could just get rid of the hop altogether. Any of those things I think would be fine. Of course, if they stick with just hopping when you lock on, they should change the iframes on it. But as of now, the dodge is definitely the thing I like the least. It just feels kind of weird. Also, that animation is slightly strange when it finishes. It seems like the animation isn't actually finished, is what it looks like. I see you. Oh. Every time I play this, I get poisoned by that frog. Now, this is, I guess, technically the first half of the beta. There is only 2 zones. Well, I guess there's kind of 3. Really. So we might as well talk about shells, sort of, upgrading your character and such. So in this second part of the beta, there's this Maiden in Black type character.
Not so hasty. No, there won't be any merriment around the bonfire here.
Nice reference.
Only the...
So, this is how you upgrade your character. Now, each of the shells that you get have different abilities. Of course, not all the abilities are unlocked. Beta. But for Haros, some of them are, reduces your harden cooldown by 25%. For a short time after hardening, enemies killed have a chance to drop a glimpse, which is sort of, think of glimpses as kind of more like insight in Bloodborne, whereas tar is sort of the blood that you use, or tar is more of like your souls. So far, you only use glimpses to upgrade your actual character. Tar is used for that and everything else. You can pick up a glimpse, has a chance to restore health. Hardening lasts for twice as long upon being broken, things like that. And this is the other shell. His name is Teal. So right off the bat, you're going to notice this gigantic stamina bar. And I just found another weapon. Okay. Well, this is exciting. Ooh. Alright, so we're going to have to play around with this weapon. This looks pretty cool, but first thing you're going to notice about Teal is that there is this gigantic stamina bar. Now, because of this fact and this fact alone, also you get the cool shadow dodge. I think because of this stamina bar, Teal is just a better character than Harrow's. You know, being able to attack and dodge more often and pretty much never running out of stamina is very, very, very strong in a Souls-like game. Of course, there is no online right now, so it doesn't really matter too much if, you know, certain shells are underpowered or overpowered, but is something I think that is worth being brought up. Now, Teal gets some fairly cool abilities. He gets one where there's a 20% chance where instead of taking damage from a hit, he will then instead take stamina damage, which is pretty nice. He'll also have one where if you get poisoned, you will heal instead of taking damage, which is very, very useful for the second half of the dungeon, considering that pretty much every enemy in here can poison you and will try to poison you. So I think, at least in the beta, this shell is more powerful than the other. There are 2 more shells that are in the game. However, they are not discoverable at this moment. Although, considering the fact that I just discovered this weapon and this is my 6th time playing the beta, maybe they're somewhere and I'm just blind. So let me know in the comments below. But I believe there are only 2 shells that you can play right now. I do not know if there is any magic type system. It seems like there is not. But might as well upgrade this weapon and start using it. I see. So that's what these sensors are for. So half of an incantation inscribed. Gain enough resolve from attacking enemies to activate a powerful weapon ability. Okay, cool. So this is a different weapon ability. Ooh, very fun. Okay. Guess we'll just keep upgrading this. Beautiful. Huh. Interesting. We'll upgrade this some more. I'll mess around with it. But that's pretty much the beta. I mean, there is a final boss at the end, in addition to that sort of hidden boss over there. He's really fun. His music is pretty terrifying. The first time I fought him, I was like, I am literally scared for my life right now. So I don't know if you can open this anyway. Or in any way, I should say. Huh, it appears that this chisel is kind of a poison weapon. Oh! So you see that poison. Well, actually, oh, jeez. I may have forgotten that there were 2 of these guys. Oh! Well, this is a good example to tell you what happens when you get hit. So you lose your shell. And if you get hit pretty much once in that form, you will die. Oh, come on. Oh. That's a pretty sick move. I'm not gonna lie. Let's eat a boiled frog. Why not? Increased stamina regen. Yo, we just found the grass crest shield as an item. That's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Looks like you stab with the chisel first and then follow through with the hammer. Very nice. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, this looks like it's just an infinitely looping combo. Okay, that's fun. Appears to be a fairly strong combo right there as well. Also, this weapon's cool. I like it. Alright, what's up, fat dude? How's it going?
Surely there's something you'll fancy amongst my collection.
Thanks, bro. Very nice. You can always try this weapon on the boss as well. But that's pretty much the beta. I mean, those are my thoughts. Overall, I think this game is really sick. The hardening mechanic, while a little strong, is super, super fun. Super, super cool. Really nice addition to gameplay. These two weapons feel very different. Of course, one is more of a slow... Well, the Great Sword actually isn't too slow. I'm not going to lie.
Sip this, and you'll see.
I guess I might as well, like, kind of upgrade this character some more.
Slowly now.
Thank you. So you see these boss glimpses as well as tar. Then we can use items to get more tar. These essentially act like souls that you get in Dark Souls. Definitely draws a lot from the Souls series, as what you would expect, but I think it has enough to make it feel unique combat-wise, to the point where it doesn't feel like you're kind of just like, okay, well, I might as well just go play Dark Souls if I'm going to play this game. That's pretty much it. I'm going to go actually just mess around with this weapon and see how it feels, and use it against the boss, because this is pretty sick. So thank you for checking out the video. I hope this gave you a good overview of Brutal Shell. I'm very excited for this game. I will definitely be, keeping an eye on it. On the Epic Game Store, it says it's going to release on December 31st, 2020. I feel like that's a placeholder, because on Steam it says 2021. So we'll see when this game actually comes out, but, as much as the Epic Game Store is kind of a meme, if you want to play the beta, that's the place to be. And with that, I will see you all in the next video. If you guys liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Other than that, I'll see you all in the next one.